Hello everyone. Welcome back to What If Deku Was Absol. Recap on last time. Deku die at USJ. Deku reborn into Pokemon universe. Deku then gets thrown out by his own clan to save himself, to save the only offspring. Gets thrown in the water. Water drag him to ocean. Ocean bring him to a new island. Moonlight Island, I believe. Maybe wrong about that. But, yeah. Island receive to help Izuku. And Island meets Rhyhorn, I believe. That was attacking him. After Rhyhorn to be defeated, Deku find new friend. New friend works together. They work together, inevitably create a base at the copper fruit tree. After making the base of the copper fruit tree, they need defenses. And that is where I kind of lost my memory. I do believe there's other Pokemon with us. There was a... They one that can lift up a log, I believe. There's like 100, probably more than 100, honestly. It's like 1,000, like 2,000 Pokemon. The rivalry, I believe, was between the monkeys and the absols, though. Let's see what they were. Wait, I think I just saw it. Do the Pokemon look of expeditions? Haha. There it is. It was called Timber, yeah. I don't know how I didn't remember that. Anyways, yeah. After gaining a friend of Timber, they would have made an official base and having, you know, defenses with poisons created by Weedle. And practically getting a lot of stuff in return. That is where I do believe I left off. Do not worry, though. The other, you would say. Hold up, let me fix this real quick. Got a mess. I haven't cleaned it for like a week, so yeah. Put this over here. Put this right here. Man, I wish I've done this stuff before recording, but anyways, yeah. Anyways, sorry for that. A little interruption. Let's continue on with the video. Midoriya would be walking down the street, or more of a dirt path, looking for more resources they don't necessarily have. They have copper fruit, which does make them, which is great for your bones, but at the same time, they need juicy fruit, like berries or other things. They have natural berries, normal berries. Which, you know, inevitably after, you know, eating a certain type of food for a while, you'll kind of get sick of it. So, inevitably, after that happens, Midoriya would go on a path, you know, telling Weedle and Timber about it before leaving, because, you know, he ain't dumb. Like, if, you know, he don't return, you know, they go after him. So, yeah. After doing all this, inevitably, he would, you know, explore, as this curious one is. After exploring, he would then, after that, look for more food. But inevitably, he would encounter Lucario on the way. Such a high-leveled Pokemon on this way, yes. But there was something different about this Pokemon, though. It was in a fighting stance already. It was weird, though. This fighting stance, and there's a badge on the Pokemon as well. Unwary of this, Absol took to the shadows. Immediately, not a Phoenix, a Steelix will come from the ground, attacking the Lucario. Using Body Slam, Lucario will use, what was it called? Plasma Ball. Yeah. would inevitably use Plasma Ball. After doing a couple Plasma Balls, then using a Psychic, what was it? Psychic reading, he would notice that this Pokemon was corrupted. After him and his team finished a mission, he noticed that a lot of the Pokemon around them were a bit different, you would say. They started getting attacked and other reasons, so they formed a rescue team. With him, a Blastoise, and a Charizard. Unknown of this, and natural calamities, he would feel a sense of disturbance in the force. Using psychic reading. Inevitably double team, and inevitably just outright, you know, what was it called? A Metal Fist, I think it was called at one point, but then they changed the name to like what? Air Palm. Between one of those, also you just used Wind Strike. Because I do know a couple prototype Pokemon moves, like they didn't yet come out. Or at least the names of them. Which originally, they changed the names. So yeah. Metal Palm, which originally, you know, turned into, you know, Metal Tail. From Pikachu, so yeah. Anyways, practically, using a Psychic Energy reading, he would practically beat up the Steelix. After beating the Steelix, he would inevitably get a reading on telekinesis. Knowing that there was another Pokemon around. Show yourself. Who are you? As a, you know, 10-inch, I'll say he's a bit bigger, because, you know, I'll say, like, you know, a couple of days have passed. Maybe like a week or so. Nothing, you know, difference in this timeline, so I'll say he's like 12 inches now, so, you know, a bit bigger. As Absol would exit out the trees on his unusual size to be small, not Absol, Lucario would look down. So you're what came out of my telekinesis reading. Because remember, he was like lifting everything up in the air while using his telekinesis. I'll say this specific Lucario is based on more telekinesis moves than fist moves. But at the same time, though, yeah. After other ways, Midoriya and him would talk, and they would depart their ways. He would gain information that there's actually a town, a while walk. This while walk would be told to Midoriya, and Midoriya would inevitably, you know, be Midoriya, and inevitably, you know, go back to base. Hey guys, everyone, there's a town not too far from here. Inevitably, being told this, Midoriya would be happy. And same with Weedle and Timber. So they can not just sell their resources, but they can also gain some as well. This would make the entire team happy, you would say. After seeing everything they can do, they also, Midoriya also did take advice that there was a rescue team. Meaning that, you know, like his old life, there are heroes that exist. Just, you know, not so often. Since nowadays there are rare to find. After gaining this, Midoriya would immediately start training. Or at least just in case, you know, it's a trap, because, you know, he still don't trust people. Besides, you know, Weedle and Timber, since, you know, it's kind of forced. And even though it's forced, it was more of survival based, if anything. So, yeah. After gaining the ability of Shadow Ball, Midoriya would walk on with his team. His team would be very cautious on the way, having to fight a couple Pokemon, actually. One Ninetales, one Jigglypuff, which was a bit hard since, you know, one of them was always asleep for that fight. Or, you know, every time they try to attack, they would just get sent to sleep. So, yeah. And then inevitably, they did come across Snorlax. This Snorlax, or, sorry, not Snorlax, Munchlax, it did attack them, but only out of curiosity, since it itself was one of the many few who were unaffected, due to their natural calm mindset. This would inevitably appear them as a bit different than others. After a few sights, they would notice that this Snorlax came from the town and only got lost trying to retrieve a mission, or not a mission, but trying to give a letter. This letter would inevitably be given to them. The letter was said, "You have been invited to join a rescue team." But immediately they would either decline it or something else. Declining the offer, you know, respectfully. The only reason they declined it is because, you know, they don't know anyone. They want to, you know, start to know people before they actually start to, you know, try to join anything. If anything happens, you know, yeah, it's kind of bad. So you can say they have trust issues to a certain extent. Especially since absol kind of got thrown away by his parents. But, you know, at least he sees that as that. Not, you know, his parents, you know. Yeah. Anyways. After being thrown, he would also be, you know, have a necklace on him. Or, what was it called? What effects did it have? It was like, I think it boosts your melee attack, I think. Yeah, okay, it's like some type of, I think, a attack scarf. It increases it by, I think, 10 points, I think. Not 10 points, but, you know, plus 10 attack, or, you know, melee. Just increase all melee attacks. They had one for stamina. That probably I have one for, like, every element. It's just very rare to find them. So I think it wasn't necessarily called attack scarf, but I think it was called, I can't remember, so I'll just call it attack scarf for now. After getting, you know, having this attack scarf on him, his points or melee attack would be, you know, increased. So yeah, this inevitably would occur. After receiving information that he was only 10 miles away and that they're getting closer to it, they would start walking on, you know, the expedition. Inevitably, as the expedition, they would notice a lot of rundown places. Like a rundown shop, a gecko shop, Nemo shop. Like, they find a couple shops down the road since, you know, it is 10 miles. I'll say, you know, I'll say maybe like 2 shops maybe. One from the beginning and one from the end. In total, there's like 20 miles they had to walk. Which, good for their legs. I mean, you know, never skip leg day, so yeah. Yeah, I'd say absol had to, like, carry or morally drag both of them. Since he was the physically most strongest, or at least, you know, he's able to pack more of a punch. The more, you know, the strongest technically was Timber. But, you know, it was only by, like, I'll say 3 points, I'll say. At least, you know, when, he took off the scarf, the attack scarf. He, this was the strongest. So, yeah. I should, like, go my fishing rod. Anyways, let's continue on. While walking on the way, they will notify a lot of strange things in dungeons. These dungeons will be filled, and I mean filled, with ravaged Pokemon. These Pokemon will go to Butterfree, to Pikachus, to Eevees, to Beedrills, to Steelixes, to Piplups, to just random Pokemon, and just high-leveled Pokemon in general. But these are more aligned to be near the edge, since they had there's a river in the way. So they had to go all the way around the river to the small parts of the river so they can actually, not drown by accident due to their heights. So yeah. So while they found a lot of water dungeons in the water. Or not in the water, but on the water. So yeah. Or the river was a dungeon on its own at that point. Inevitably, after having this happen, they would finally make it to the village, or sorry, not village, town. After gaining things from the town, they immediately start getting things. What do I mean by this? I mean, they would start, giving, people start walking around them. Like, oh, hello, would you like to buy anything? Due to resources being scarce, they would be running out of money since Pokemon didn't want to buy the high expensive qualities. At the same time, it would kind of be uncontrolled due to the priorities. Inevitably, the rescue team will be caught up in Midoriya's brain. This would immediately give ideas to Midoriya. What if we made our own rescue team? To help people. We can't just get money, but we can also get resources that we naturally don't get. Since our only income are some berries and, a copper fruit tree. A very large one at that. Immediately, this would inevitably see the attention of others. And inevitably, they would proceed getting their stuff. Going to a base in a HQ to gain their license and whatnot for rescuing, they immediately would get their badge. Their badge would be more of a, I'll say Brock's gem. It would be like a steel-like thing, a steel badge for their banner. So yeah, either that or just be like a Ultra Ball or something for like their banner. Immediately after this, what would happen is that they would occur a very strange fellow. This immediately being Shazam. Shazam would have an uneasy feeling about Midoriya, but inevitably would see no, fighting or any negativity towards Midoriya. So would just, leave Midoriya alone at that point. I think it was this one. No, not this one. After getting Midoriya's time in the turn of the tides, fishing for Magikarps, he wouldn't, not eat, a couple foods, fish here and there, immediately gaining in strength. Midoriya, the thing about Midoriya is that his size would be dependent on how much body mass he consumes. Or entirely how much, he consumes. Which, in this time, he would consume a lot of things. Like, when I mean Snorlax levels of just eating. Which inevitably would end up Midoriya having be an entire 2 feet afterwards. Meaning that he's growing at a rapid rate, in fact. And now that he's not just largened, he can also, compete with Timber. And, just training in general. Because Timber was now, due to him outgrowing the attack band, he would no longer need it. So he would kind of just give it to Weedle, since, Weedle, not, the best at attacks. Only able to, shoot poisoned, I guess, at the times. Yes, it does do damage, but only does, like, 3 damage per turn. Or per fighting turn, at least. Which, giving him the attack band would either enhance it by about 3 to 5. Meaning that he would do about 7 to 8 damage. Or at least 9 damage in total. This would dramatically help Weedle at the time of fighting dungeons. And inevitably they find some orbs, escape orbs, whirling orbs. explosive seeds. Let's see what I can remember. I actually have a lot of things now to think about it. Even some attachments like what was it? Oran berries, cherry berries, pichu berries, and a couple other berries as well. They actually have a lot of things. Same with gravel, and man, is gravel useful. Why is it useful, you say? Well, you can throw it at opponents to actually, you know, affect damage on them. Yes, it takes up an entire turn, but it does 20 damage, honestly. 20 damage is a lot. So in general, Midoriya would be packed of just gravel. Especially since they're going to like cave dungeons and whatnot. Since, you know, they got timber. If, you know, any of them are too high of a level, you know, they got timber to hold it back. You know, they got Weedle to shoot it quickly, to either poison it or just annoy it to kind of get its attention. While, you know, Timber's also there kind of beating it and using his attacks. While, you know, on the other side of the field, we got Absol using Shadow Ball. Not just that, but Shadow Slash, Air Slash, and other types of slashes with Psychic Reading to confuse it with Double Team, and inevitably with Air Palm. So yeah, just, you know, either Steelix or just getting jumped or just slashed, immediately leveling each of them up to about, I'll say, level 5. Level 5 to level, actually no, I'm pretty sure Steelix is like, well, like level 60. So I'll say they take down about 3 Steelixes, because I'll say they're there for like a while. Like a long while. Like I'll say a couple days long while. Because it does take a long while to take down level 60. So say by the end, I'll say they're about level, give or take, level 10. Why not? The only reason I'm not spamming their level up button is because, you know, I can easily just say, you know, with level 60, oh, they instantly level 20 or something like that, or level 30. Nah. I at least want the leveling system to be fair at that point. So, yeah. Immediately after leveling up, they would give new achievements and other things. And everyone would be able to have about, let me think. I'll say Wheels only able to have like about give or take 3 no, not 3. I'll say 1 attachment at a time, since he only has his body, and since he's not Beedrill, he can't have like 4 of these things at the same time. So say I'll give you the attachment bars. So normally I'll say Timber's able to have 5 attachment bars. Abs is only able to have 5. And for Weedle, since he only has a worm-like body, would only be able to give about 1 to 2. 1 for holding something, and the other for having it on his body or person. So yeah. Immediately, they would be noticed by the town, growing levels significantly. If you're wondering how they survive against a level 60, their bones naturally, because I'm also having actual, you know, Pokemon logic without, you know, just, you know, leveling up system. Their bones, since they ate copper coin fruits, are just insanely strong. Like, I mean, like, rock strong, like iron strong. Especially since that's practically their basically their main source of just nourishment, their bones. In this universe, Capricorn fruits, or, you know, copper fruits, are just built, like, they're made for, like, Steelixes. Like, they're built for, like, rock Pokemon, since they're shells. But due to, you know, no other choice, they're forced to, you know, kind of, you know, yes, it was hurting their teeth at a while, or, you know, just difficult to open the Capricorn fruits to eat them, but, you know, inevitably, it you know, became nothing to them. Immediately able to defeat Pokemon that are way higher level than them, but, you know, not as, you know, durable as them. So I'll say each of them are able to kind of fight their own fight well. Very, very well. Inevitably, each of their attacks, stamina pieces, and other attack ranges, as stamina, stats in general, would be increased entirely. Speed, stamina, knowledge, I'll say, because I'll say knowledge is like XP as well. HP in general will be very useful, or at least experience. Which absol has a lot of experience. Especially since they mainly spam one target at a time, they all share the HP. So yeah. After that, they would start struggling to level up again, due to them having to go over the limits of leveling up. What do I mean by this? I mean they haven't, you know, gone beyond. Usually after a certain level, you have to start, you know, doing things way above your level. Like, when I mean way above, like, you gotta be, like, level 30, and, you know, gotta go versus, like, a level 100 or something. And, like, Digimon or something. So, yeah. Meaning that they gotta break their barriers, like, their limits. They gotta break their limits at this point. I'll say their limits are actually pretty decent. Is that the limits will be certain things, you say? Is it the limits shall not be evolving? Because I will give absol a evolve form, but it'd be more of a shiny form. I'll say... shouldn't... no, I'll say he has a, you know, his mega evolve form with his shiny form. I'll say he does have his normal form, shiny form, and then, you know, continuously, you know, evolve. So inevitably, depending on the way it goes and how much stuff he does, he can, you know, evolve to a shiny or just become mega evolved at will. Will I make this a permanent thing? Probably not, since mega evolution is very hard, and since it is too, you know, early in the access to actually say so. Since they're only level 10, and that'd be too overpowered. So yeah. At the time, Midoriya would be given a certain amount of things to do. They'll inevitably have a crate machine, or at least a simple crate machine, where, you know, it has this dumbbell that kind of just, you know, makes it go into a crate, or compresses it into a crate for the best, you know, amount, and inevitably ship it off to the town. After sending it to the town, they'll get lots of money for this, or at least morally against rock Pokemon, or just naturally steel-like Pokemon, and other Pokemon who have hard shells. The only reason Pokemon or, you know, Ravage Pokemon don't go to the town is because the amount of rescue teams there and just the amount of Pokemon that would, you know, fight you on site and that will protect each other is just insane. Practically being like the only stronghold in the entire island. So yeah, or like giant island practically. Not one of them, because there are a couple rescue teams that are, you know, like Shazam. Like, what was it? Not a couple, like, yeah, they have a bit. Because Shazam is himself pretty powerful. Same with, I'll say there will be a couple other unnatural ones that I will add. Just to make it more interesting. A Ghost rescue team. I'll say there are a couple mixed rescue teams with, you know, just varieties of their own element rescue teams. So there's a lot of rescue teams with, like, a stronghold. I'll say the strongest, at least by defenses, and not popularity, I'll say would have to be the... I'll say in the top 100, I'll say yes, Absol's team is in there, the top 100, but isn't in the top 10. Because I'll say, you know, they were fighting low-class, you know, things. And, you know, they haven't hit, you know, the 100, you know, marks. What I mean by this is I mean the levels go all the way up to 1,000. Yes, 1,000. Yeah. I know naturally they either stop at, like, level at 100 or something. But now, we stopping at 1,000. Meaning that a lot of the logic in Pokemon is going to be dramatically different. That is why I'm kind of leveling up leveling up them a bit fast, but at the same time, not really. They still have a long way to go to get to 1,000. I'll say Shazam is at 1,000 and Lucario's also at 1,000. But I'll say, you know, in base stats, I'll say Lucario is stronger than Shazam. Just due to not just physical or mental capabilities, but also, I'll say just Shazam or Lucario kind of has, you know, entire, you know, people know him a lot more than Shazam does. Or at least more lines, Lucario's more of a legend than, you know, other things. Because he does have, you know, he fought dragon type Pokemon off bat alone, and, you know, inevitably got his team, in fact. In fact, what was it? Not the Rayquaza, but the Charizard that he has on his team actually was one of the people he actually fought. Which, surprising the people, made his stuff valid. Making sure people can't lie that he didn't do it. Or people can't say he didn't do it since he clearly did. So yeah. He's pretty well known. In fact, he's probably a legend. The only time people see him is when, like, a natural, like, a very bad event is appearing. And due to the games, I do like the games, but I feel like it should have had a lot of more things to go with it. Besides just, oh no, the natural calamity is disrupting the balance. So I will add everything, like, with the calamities. So not just the calamities, but, you know, I'll say for reasons. I'll say there are a couple other things I can think of. Like evil Pokemon naturally, like Team Rocket, but as Pokemon. Or Team Magma, Aqua. What else? There's a lot of, you know, baddies. Or villains in general in, like, Pokemon universe. I'll say they're all here, but just as Pokemon. Instead of naturally just being, you know, natural, oh, humans. Nah. This is a Pokemon world, so inevitably they will be given Pokemon, you know, forms. I'll say Team Rocket, instead of capturing Pokemon, they're more aligned force Pokemon, or kind of beat them to the point where they want to join, or are forced to join out of their own safety. So yeah. I'll say, you know, Rayquaza is a thing. You know, legendary Pokemon like Arceus, Lucario. Like a lot of legendary Pokemon that usually aren't seen, like the 3 legendary bird types, are there. Like, they are things that people can't see. It's just only a certain amount of events that can actually cause them to be seen. So, yeah. Will I have absol? I'll say the only reasons they're able to take down the level 60s realistically is because they have other rescue teams on them. Like, they do help other rescue teams. So I'll say they're just normally high level rescue teams. Not, you know, not any normal Pokemon, but, you know, just, you know, Pokemon that actually leveled up for a decent while. So yeah. Inevitably, the absol team will inevitably get a name for themselves. For reasons, I haven't given them a name due to the natural imbalance of them in random Pokemon I put them in them, like Weedle and Timber. So, fighting, insects, and dark. I think it was a dark type Pokemon originally. So, I may have it as a natural Forest of Darkness Pokemon. So, yeah. I may come up with the name later on in part 3, but thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.